Gathering. Apologies for the delay there. Apparently our capture was having some issues. Anyway, my name's Crrool, for those that missed it earlier, and I'll be doing some Bomberman Land Touch. So, we're gonna get ready on the file here. Starting in, ready? Tech? In 3, 2, 1, go! Welcome everybody to Bomberman Land Touch, and right there we started with a cutscene skip. We're going to talk to the booth here. That sets up a warp point. And we're going to place a bomb here. That bomb is going to destroy this rock, and we're going to get a token from the chest. Now, the tokens, we don't actually need that many of them, but we're going to get a few along the way, which we can use to buy a bomb. Basically, this entire minigame, we've been captured by pirates, and all it's about is, well, playing a bunch of minigames. I want to do just that. So we're going to start with Boom Dash, where we just have to swipe the screen a lot, and very fast. We need to get a time of at least 10.5 seconds in order to get our prize, so to speak. 8.8, that's pretty good. And there we go, that's the first minigame done. And we're going to get a Spade token. There's four zones in this game: Spade, Heart, Diamond, and Club. And for each of those zones, we get, well, prizes if we finish them. So here we go, second one. Now we need to get a score of 100, and done perfectly, you would get 10 points every time. But if you're a little bit slow, you're gonna only get 9 or 8. I've never succeeded at actually getting the full points in one go. Like in exactly 10. It's really hard to do that. Especially because sometimes you get a small bomb like that, and it's kind of tricky to see them. Where there's 2 green 7s next to a green 1. 2 more. And that's it. That's our second minigame done. Now, there's another mechanic in this game that is all about collecting stamps. And we actually need to get every single stamp in the game. We're going to collect the first one right here. And there we go. This is a zone stamp, but there's also stamps for treasures, bosses, and rivals. And onto the ship, where we're going to play the main combat game in this. This will be used for every boss, as well as the final boss, as we're just going to throw bombs to the other side. Now, I can hit him directly to stun him for a little bit. I'm going to try to defeat 10 of these pirates. Red means they're very close to exploding, and if they explode right on time, that'll happen, and, you know, we defeat one. Now, we ourselves can only have 3 lives, so we have to get them all dead within, or before I lose 3 lives, which generally isn't much of a problem, although can be difficult for some of the bosses. Hasn't been a great fight so far, but that's not too big a deal. Boom. Yeah, basically everything in this game is revolving around, you know, bombs, because it's Bomberman after all. Story-wise, kind of what happens is we were on a ship and we were captured by pirates. And now we need to figure out what's going on and get off the island again. In secret, though, this place is actually a theme park, and somebody had sent us here as a, you know, as a birthday present. As, you know, kind of an adventure that you buy, so to speak. We will very soon, as there is a mini game coming up where I need to actually blow into the microphone fairly soon. So that would be the ideal time. All right. It's in about 3 minutes or so, maybe 4, give or take. So here is a bit of a different mini game. This one actually doesn't give us a token, but rather gives us a helmet. Some mini games give you helmets or other kind of items, bombs, costumes, that sort of stuff, that we need in order to actually be able to beat the game. Ooh, this is kind of bad. I missed one there. Yeah, I need to restart that game. So I missed one there. I don't really know why I missed one there. This is, for me, the first time actually playing on this DS, so I'm kind of curious how that's going to go. My DS cap card broke like literally a week ago, so I hope that that won't be too much of an issue. There we go. Nicely within the 22 seconds that we have for this. If you miss one, unfortunately, there's pretty much no way to recover from it. But that gives us a mining helmet or whatever it's called. And that helmet has a lamp on it, and that lamp is kind of important to us, as you will see in a moment. We're going to talk to this guy. He's now going to get out of the way because we have the helmet, and we can go in here. Now there's three treasures that we need, or three things we need to do here. First, we're going to get 2 treasure chests. I'm saying 2, but it's actually 3. As we walk over those ledges, and then we're going to go into a mini game where I actually have to blow into the microphone, which is ideal for you guys as my host to do some donation reading and whatnot, as I have asked the audio guy to mute me during these things. There's 3 of such scenes. I do hope that the one that because there's actually one where the mic is somewhat sensitive, and I hope the audio, the music in this place isn't too loud. That'll be later on. Okay, so yeah, there we got another token, and then here's a treasure chest with another club piece. Okay, here we go. So, Mike, please mute it.
Alright, we actually have some donations already. Actually, we got the first donation incentive for Portal, which was the Portal placement never fail. We already got that met with one donation from 50 euros from Beanopolis saying, never fail at Portal placement or cancer research. Good luck. Then we have €1 from Victorian saying, good luck Crrool, and I hope nothing blows up at the tip of your stylus. And then we have 15 euros from Ara Blackwell saying, Sonic 06 glitch off? Sonic 06 glitch off? How can you say no to that? Greetings to my dudes on site and wishing everyone a fun weekend. Alright, and while Crrool is blowing, we have some time for plugging our, actually, you know, reason we do this, because we are raising money for the Dutch Cancer Society, which is a nationwide organization committed to fight cancer while aiming for more cure and a higher quality of life for those already battling the disease. 95% of your donations will go to Dutch Cancer Society. The other 5% will help improve BSG. We are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering. We organize monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners, and we're streaming live from you from Elfen aan de Rijn in the Netherlands. We also want to thank ESA for supporting the event and for allowing us to stream on their channel. And of course, you can consider using your free monthly Twitch Prime subscription right here on the ESA channel. You will get access to both the ESA and the BSG emotes, and you get to support both the events.
Okay, so we jump off there after that minigame, and I'm immediately going to look at my audio guy, because could you please ask them to turn the music down here a bit later on? Not my music, but the music in general, because my mic is, the DS mic is picking up on it, which will be not my audio, the music and the venue. Unfortunately, my mic is, or the DS mic is picking up on it, and that will be a problem later. There's one minigame where we also need to blow into the microphone, and if the music is too loud, then there's no way that we could even do it. So here we have another minigame with rolling bombs. Normally you would bonk if the bombs would hit each other, except if they're glowing red, in which case they would explode and lose even more time. So I gotta be careful with when I get off of them. there we go. A good old time of 24:25. That's actually a fairly decent time. Yeah, we finish up the few mini games here in the Spade Zone, and after that we will be going to the Diamond Zone, which is going to be the second zone that we're going to be visiting here. I placed the bomb on these buttons to make these elevators or whatever they are work. And here we go. You may have also noticed that a lot of the time the touchscreen will say new email. Characters in this game actually email you for whenever there's an event regarding them. So when they challenge you for something, or when a new place has opened up, or everything related to the game, you get through emails. So the controls in this place are pretty weird, but you need to basically just throw off 30 bombs, and that's how we win. Usually doesn't take too long. There we go. That's another minigame cleared. And we get another Spade Zone here, or a Spade piece here. So we slide over to the other side. And we're going to go into the Diamond Zone. Again, I will talk to the booth here. Actually, noticed that I forgot something, so I'll have to get that a little bit later. It's not a huge deal. And next up, we're going to just go up here. And up here, we have 2 stairs that we can take, and we need to actually take both of them. These stairs will lead us to places with more mini-games, because we actually need to finish one mini-game to open up a gate. I haven't really explained gates yet, but basically in this game there's a bunch of gates, and in order to actually open them up, you need to have a specific amount of spade, diamond, club, or heart pieces. If you don't have enough, you don't get past the gate. Simple as that. Now there is one gate in this place that only requires me to have 1 diamond piece, so I need to have finished 1 minigame. 17.5, that's actually the best time I've ever had in this one. Really solid time there. 17.5 is really, like, everything under 20 seconds there is considered good, so... I've been noticing the touchscreen is a little bit less sensitive than what I'm used to, so that's kind of annoying. So here's another little puzzle. Usually with these puzzles, I first have to tap them to get instructions for it, and then just tap it again. See, like that treasure chest. We first had to be, like, we first got a text, whoa, there's a treasure chest here? That wasn't there before. And then, we can actually open it, and it contains another diamond piece. We have to get every single diamond piece, club piece, heart piece, and spade piece in order to actually be able to beat the game. So we kind of just have to do all of them anyway. We go talk to Captain Boom again. Coincidentally, by the way, he's the final boss of the game. I haven't actually mentioned that. Minor spoiler there, but he's the final boss of the game. We'll be seeing him quite a few more times. But aside from that, there's also 4 zone bosses. So basically the boss of each of the zones, which we need to defeat in order to get enough pieces so that we can actually reach Captain Boom. So this is just kind of, we just need to hit every single bomb that gets close. We can miss 2 in total, and we need to hit 100 bombs in total. Now it starts out pretty simple, unless I miss like that. That's kind of silly. It's not a big deal. It tends to get harder over time.
Time for a quick donation?
Go ahead.
All right, we have €2 from Skaven saying, good luck to every runner and hope everyone will have a great event. Thank you for that donation.
Yeah, this is one that requires... Wow, okay, it's eating my input somewhere around, like, this box somewhere. That's really annoying. Should not necessarily be a big deal, but I do hope that it isn't. So yeah, now I can't miss another one. there we go. Bit more clutch than I would like, but we got it anyway. So, Sniper, any word on that audio thingy? That might become a problem. Well, we'll see if we can deal with it somehow. Okay, so here we have a bit of a mini game where we need to do some conveyor belts. Now this starts off really simple. This is actually the easy version of it. There's a harder version of this as well that we'll see later on in the game. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's funny enough in Bomberman Land Touch 2, because there's actually two. There's also a Bomberman Land Touch 2. It'll actually be the harder version that you have to play as if it was the easier one, so to speak. So this is basically just a case if we have to get all 50 bombs in their correct color. Fairly simple all in all. So yeah, now that we have 5 pieces, we're gonna return to the other zone, to Spade, as we've pretty much done all that we needed to do here. And we're gonna go to the other side here. We need 5 spade pieces and 5 diamond pieces to be able to take this minecart. And with the minecart, on the way we're gonna get another treasure chest. Kind of important for us. That's actually not... Wow, come on. This stylus, or this touchscreen would cooperate, that'd be nice. I meant to go this way. It's kind of an important one because there's a treasure chest here that we do actually need. With another spade piece. Because there's 2 mini games over here. The first one, basically these are our sports mini games. Now the first one's fairly simple. I just have to get a score of 500 or higher. We've got 3 chances, so I don't actually have to get it on the first chance, but it is of course faster if you just get it first try. I don't really care how many points I get. Of course, like 501 points would be ideal pretty much, or 500 points. But you don't want to go under, so I'd rather just go over by a good amount. Especially because the timing is relatively precise. So here we've got some bowling. We've got 5 rounds that we have in order to score 550 points. So it is required to get at least 1 spare. And there's a strike. That's really useful. Strikes count double. And if you get 2 strikes in a row, you get 3. You get double that even, so you get 400 points, which is really, really useful. So there we go in just a handful of rounds. Ideally, you'd just be throwing strikes. We try to, but it's kind of tricky sometimes to get a strike. And with that, we have another Bomber House battle here. This time, there's going to be 15 pirates. Basically, every bomber battle gets slightly more difficult, but mostly just in the amount of pirates that we need to fight. So all in all, they're still all pretty easy. just gonna let him run towards that. He nicely got shot by it, which works out quite nicely for us. The bombs actually spawn at a set rate. You can see the timer at the bottom, like every time that timer hits 0, so basically every 5 seconds new bombs will roll in, regardless of how many exploded. So it's also kind of important to get them exploded rather quickly, otherwise it can very quickly get very crowded with bombs. There's definitely fights where this can happen. Generally, however, the fights against just the pirates aren't difficult enough that we really have to worry about them.
Got time for another donation?
Go ahead.
Right, we have €1 from Towel saying, I have secretly stole Crrool's car and he doesn't know yet, Kappa. Kidding, good luck with the run and marathon, and let's make it an amazing one.
And there we go. That's the kill. So that's the second of total 9 Bomber House thingies that we now have finished. I think it's 9. It's probably 9. And we're just going to move down to the other side here. There's another stamp that we need to collect, which is on this one. Unfortunately, this gate is... we cannot open that yet. We need 5 club pieces, and unfortunately, we cannot have 5 pieces at this point. Otherwise, it'll actually give us pretty good access to the heart zone. But this might become a little bit clutch time-wise. Ah, that's really unfortunate. So yeah, this can happen sometimes. Even in World Record, I didn't get every minigame first try, so... Luckily, this isn't the slowest one to mess up. Sometimes you get lucky and you see 2 of those patches that are really close together, like over here. That kind of can help out quite a bit. So there we go. We actually need to do this one in order to get a how do you call it? A helmet. A clown hat. There's two clown outfit pieces that we need to collect in order to get a jumbo piece. And basically what jumbo pieces are is that at some places, this is mainly during boss fights and the likes, you can, or at least from the zone bosses, you can get a jumbo piece. And a jumbo piece is 3 regular pieces, so they add up quite quickly. And we're gonna now go the other way here because there's another chest here with a token. Again, those tokens, we're gonna be collecting we need 6 of them at some point to get one of the bombs, and I can just drop off afterwards. That puts us here, which is a little bit faster, and now we're gonna make our first visit to the heart zone. We've actually had access to the heart zone for a while, but now this is the point where we actually go do our first heart pieces. But first we're gonna collect, we're gonna do another mini game here. Basically this mini game is to get us the other half of the clown outfit. Okay, there's something seriously wrong with this touchscreen, and I'm gonna just complain about that. So yeah, this is what you get when you accidentally hit a wrong one. That one was on me. Please, there we go. I was trying to get in between those. I'll go for the safer path this way then. I hope I still have enough time to make it here. There we go. Okay, we still made it in time. That's what matters here. That gets us the other half of the clown outfit, and now we can go get our first jumbo piece. But we're not going to do that yet. I'm first going to talk to Captain Boom and do some of the heart zone thingies. There's elevators here, as the heart zone is basically split up by little underground sections. And here's another fun one. Balance or boom. You can probably guess what this is all about. Funny enough, in the in Bomberman Land Touch 2, there's actually this exact same minigame. The main difference being, however, that in Bomberman Land Touch 2, you need to go for 60 seconds, and here it's only 45 seconds. If you were to do the challenge again, because I haven't really mentioned that, but you can actually do every single challenge a second time. And by winning that the second time, which has a harder time usually, you get a token. But, you know, we don't really need those tokens right now. So, by that point, you would also have to go for 60 seconds, but right now 45 is more than enough. And as you can tell, we fairly easily get that. And now we've got a pretty simple matching game here. The second version of this one's actually quite difficult. There's a second version where you have to challenge one of the other characters to this. The first run of this is really, really simple. This is probably also the minigame that ramps up the most in its difficulty between the first time you have to do it and the second time you have to do it. Because a lot of the minigames we have to redo as a challenge against our rival. Again, we go to the info booth so that we set a warp point. We just need to have the warp points for later on in the run. We're going to be using the warps quite a bit here. Open up the little gate over here. We're going to go underground to this part. I need to talk to this guy first. He's panicked because there's a fire in the heart zone somewhere, and he's trying to fix that. Spoilers, we're going to eventually fix that for him. And this is just, again, we need to match with the color that's on the top screen to what we see on the bottom screen. If it's a center bomb, we have to hit it 3 times instead for it to explode, and, you know, we get points for every single one of them. Now, there's actually a cool strat we can do if the big bomb is also in the middle and there is multiple others. That's that we tap a small bomb and then the big bomb and then a small bomb again. And that actually is slightly faster than if you would hit them all completely separately. So you saw it there, for example. That's where I just keep hitting. The hammer just respawns slightly faster because it doesn't have to wait for the animation to end. As you can imagine, some of these mini games are quite focus heavy, so I'm just gonna focus as much as I can on the mini games. Oh, we're almost done. There we go. That's the 700 points that we need. And that gets us another heart piece. We're also going to talk to this guy real quick. He's going to get a weird octopus fish thingy. And after that, we're going to play some memory. Memory is always a fun little game. So, black, white. There's 2 greens here. Gold, green. There's... Okay, black is completely out. 2 pinks. Nice. so far a pretty good one. That was Captain Boom. He was blue. That was gold. And there's our 2 cute pinks. There we go. That instantly gives us enough points. We only need to clear that thing once. So we cleared, or we have to interact with that little thingy there. And that way we can move on. Now I'll have to change costume shortly, as we're gonna go into the clown's outfit and talk to this guy. Talk to him with the clown's outfit. He'll give me the jumbo spade piece, which instantly gives us 3 pieces, and now we're up to 11 spade. I'm gonna see. So now we're gonna get ready for the second mini game where I have to blow into the mic. The second of 3. I hope this is gonna work out. This one's a little bit more difficult than the first one. It's basically the same mini game. Oh, whoops! I fell off. That's kind of bad. Just give me just one. You can cut me off as soon as I get to the mini game. So this is what you get if you try to go too fast. There, you can actually fall off. That's kind of annoying. So we move up here. So we try to stay on the ledge here. And there we go. Yep, you can cut me off now.
Alright, while Crrool is gonna be blowing into his DS, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about some incentives. For example, Finis and Ferb Ride Again Any Percent has one called All Tack Minigames and Backyard Glitch. That one is currently no donations yet, which is kinda obvious because we're still in the first hour of this marathon, but still. We are already 15 euros in towards the 80 euros for Show Off the Box for Sonic the Hedgehog 06 Silver Story. Then we have Sing City Escape as well. If we get that mat, Shadow Frost is gonna sing for us, so that's definitely one worth donating to. Then we have a Beta World Show Off for Amsterdam Any Percent, which is currently €1 in of the 75 in total needed. And then we have, of course, the blindfolded first boss of Cuphead All Bosses. So if you want to see some blindfolded Cuphead gameplay, be sure to donate.
Okay, so we won the mini game there. That is the second one done, and that gives us our 5th heart piece, which we'll be needing later on. Now there is one zone that we still haven't visited, so I'm going to go there next, which is the club zone. Now, unfortunately, the first time we go around to the club zone, yeah, we do that now. First time we go around to the club zone, I won't actually have a way of getting enough pieces that we can set a war point to it. But the second time we're going to go there, we can fairly easily get that anyway, so it's not a huge issue. So here we have to do some avoiding of these sharks. There's 2 tokens here. We want to pick up both so that we can buy a bomb later on. As we get 2 tokens in this place, and then there's 1 token in the mini game later, and there's 1 in a bomb that I can pick up still. So as we've avoided all the sharks, we get to the club zone. I don't really know why they would throw sharks at you like that, but they're, by the way, bomb sharks, obviously, because everything in this game is a bomb just about. And here we go for another mini game. This is basically where we have to compare the top screen and the bottom screen. One of the bombs will be different. Sometimes it's very obvious, like that, where there's just a color difference. Or a size difference, but sometimes like they're rotating and they're rotating the other way around, or the fuse is on the other side, or something silly like that, and those can be kind of hard to see. We need to correctly guess 10 of these in order to win, basically. The faster we do that, the better it is. It's this one. I almost tapped the wrong one there. The pink one. There we go. There's also a stamp that or actually I think it's 2 stamps that we collect here. Or is it a token? Is the stamp elsewhere? I'm not really sure. I think it's the stamp, though. As we go through the jungle, we open up this one. No, it's a club piece. Thought that was a stamp. Oh. So now we go to the other side of the jungle. And over here we'll have another piece we can get. We see Mr. Captain Boom one more time. That's the last time we'll be seeing him for quite some time here. And we've got 2 mini games that we can do up here. First, Confused Bombs. And this is actually one that's not super difficult, but it can be easy to mess up. See, now I have to make sure that our first one goes up, so that the second one can go down and the third one can go back up, as you always move position on the second and third one. Now, luckily, after the first few, they actually start adding up points. So the first one gives you 10 points, the second one gives you 20 points, the third one 30, and then from there on out, see, this is how you mess up. From there on out, they all give 30 points. Unless you make a mistake, in which case it resets, and that obviously wastes some time. I can make 1 mistake here. That's not a huge deal, as long as I don't make more than 1. Generally speaking, we're going to be fast enough that even with a mistake, we can get the points we need. And there we go. That's 300 points. With 2 mistakes, it becomes really, really difficult to actually get it, unless you get the mistakes really close together, so you don't really end up losing much in terms of points. But then it becomes kind of tricky to still be able to do. Now, get it together. Pretty fun little game. We've got 45 seconds for this, which just tends to be more than enough. Funny enough, I believe that the amount of time you have is about the same between easy mode and difficult mode. Except in difficult, there's just a lot more other pieces that you see on the board. Green is among the more difficult ones to make. Yellow is always the one that I really like to see. All of his pieces are significantly bigger than that of everything else, so it's generally a pretty quick and easy one to make. Heck, where is it? Leg and the arm. 32 seconds. That's pretty slow, but we still have him. Now, unfortunately, to move on, we need 5 spade pieces, or club pieces, and we only have 3. So I won't be able to do that just yet. We are going to interact with that, and that's going to unlock a cutscene with yellow. Behind that big boulder right there, that's where the last microphone minigame is at. That's actually the one I was most worried about. In practice yesterday, I got stuck here because I couldn't do that minigame because the music was too loud, so we'll see if today will be better. I do hope today will be better. Otherwise, we're going to have to figure something out on that one. Anyway, lots of minigames that we can now do in terms of challenges. We're going to start with Cool Black. So this one's pretty easy. We just have to run. Run as fast as we can. Now, Black is going to be faster than us at some point, so we need to actually maintain pretty high speed. Ooh, that was really close. 0.05 second difference there. As you can tell, that one actually gets really close. Black is really good at this one. But not to worry, we get our piece and we move on to the next one. This is going to give us our fifth piece, our 5th club piece. So now we get this challenge again, but this time it's a challenge. The game ends as soon as both of us have 3 fails, or one has 3 fails and the other one has more points. Because at that point, the winner is decided. So how we do that is the timer actually ticks down. So we just try to get as many points early as possible, so that by the time that the timer, like, you only have like like 0.6 seconds or something to find it. By that point, we'll have so many points that we are basically have already won. Early on, green is pretty much always going to find it anyway. So we just want to try to beat him to it. By finding them faster, we actually speed up this thing as well, as these were going to be found anyway. Green was slightly faster on that one. So now we're down to 0.9 seconds on the clock, which means it's possible for green to start messing it up. Okay, so I can't do anything anymore. He wins if he surpasses my 143 points, which he didn't, so we win the game. That is 5 club pieces. Now next up, we're going to make another tour in general direction of the or of the diamond zone as we go back in here, as there's 2 challenges here as well. But before anything else, I still needed to get this one. Actually, kind of forgot about this one earlier. That's our 6th token, which we're going to be using right away in the diamond zone to buy the light bomb here. Nope, not stamps, tokens. Now the light bomb, actually quite useful, as we can use that to light up rooms, and one of those rooms is right here. And this one will actually pretty much immediately also give me the next bomb, which we need. But we do that after we get these 2 mini games out of the way. So the rolling again, you can probably tell what's going on here. We just need to be faster than blue. With all these challenges, you've probably already noticed they tend to be quite good. It can be kind of difficult to actually beat them. Luckily, we should have this no problem. There we go. He didn't even make it to the finish. Now, usually they'll give a token that is respective to their color, so blue will give spade, yellow will give diamond, and so on. The only exception to this rule is black, who gives us the color of the zone that we happen to be in at that point in time. So this minigame is always going to take us a minute. Whoever has most bombs thrown off by the end of that minute is the one that gets the win here. I should, by the way, mention a tie is not in our favor. A tie means we have to redo this. So we actually do have to actually win. We shouldn't really get any ties, but on the off chance that we do. Didn't get that many throws this time. Timer just keeps ticking anyway, so it doesn't really matter if I fall off. As long as I just have more points by the end of this, that shouldn't be a problem at all. We almost had double. That is our 9th piece. So now we actually move back a little, because now that I have the light bomb, I can use this light bomb over here. Without the light bomb, you wouldn't be able to see it. You need the combination of the helmet and the light bomb. But that gives us the water bomb. And this is the one we would have bought if we had bought it in the Spade Zone. So this is how we actually save ourselves having to get 6 additional tokens. So now we go to the Diamond Zone, as Gold will be challenging us there to yet another mini game. And unfortunately, this is just what happens to be the best way for us to get back there right now. This mining cart is unfortunately very slow, but there isn't much we can do about that. We need 10 pieces to be able to skip it. We have 9 right now. I am kind of surprised that he isn't there yet. That's fine. I think I should be fine taking the underwater thingy right now. I don't have the flower bomb yet. I do hope I can take this. Yes, okay. So it didn't really matter, as we can use this now to just go to the heart zone instead. It's kind of annoying, but it'll work out in the end. So this is, again, heart zone. There's 3 treasures underwater. One is a token, one is a treasure, and one is a... the heart piece that you just saw. But there's also this mini game, and this will give us another bomb. This will give us the spring bomb. Okay, why is my touchscreen being so insensitive right now? You have enough leeway that I can probably make it work, but... There we go. Made it in time. So there we go. This will give us the spring bomb, which is another big one that we need. We'll be using this to get back to the club zone later as well as to get us the flower bomb. There's the stamp.
Time for a donation.
Go ahead.
We have €5 from Blastek saying, I can't believe I get to see this game being run. Good luck. Important question though. Pink or Aqua?
The current world record route uses Aqua, although that is Bomberman Land Touch 2. Personally though, Pink. Pink route, it just feels easier to me. For those that have no clue what we're talking about here, in Bomberman Land Touch 2, there's 2 routes you can take to beat the game. Either you do it with the help of Aqua or with the help of Pink. And depending on which actions you take throughout the game, will determine which of the 2 you will help. And that's also the one that you kind of romance, or however you want to call it, at the end of the game. Like, you kind of finish it together, so to speak. It's not really, like, necessarily in a romantic way or anything, but it kind of hints at that, which is kind of cute, honestly. Now this red bomb needs to get to the other side. Really need to get rid of those red bombs here. Like, we're getting a good amount of kills. This time we need 20. Like I said, with every zone they get harder. So this one becomes 20 pirates that we need to defeat. The only way that this becomes harder, though, is that there's just more pirates. First one was 10, then 15, now 20, and then Club Zone will see 25. So these will be the last 2 pirates. And just wait for this bomb to turn green. Try and knock him out. Missed him by a hair there. There we go. Not a bad fight all in all. Not a bad fight. Gets me another heart piece. We get the heart stamp. The last zone is Castle Zone. We won't be able to access that for a while. I think I'm gonna just use this to warp to... I think that I can do this through Diamond Zone. I'm quickly debating whether I can get the next bomb already. But first, another challenge. This is actually one of the harder challenges in the game, as we have to kick away more bombs than our rival. And sometimes this is only slightly more than we needed in the first time around. And sometimes he can actually be quite good and need like 150 bombs to be kicked. Yesterday, in my first attempt, I died after 134, I think. And then the second attempt, he died at 117. So there he loses his first life already. That's good. The earlier he loses his lives, the better. There's life number 2. So now he only needs to fail one more time. It's completely random when he fails, but it's almost always that he kicks away more than 100 bombs before he fails. I don't think I've ever seen a recorded version where he kicked away more.
Got
right. He kicked away fewer. Yeah, go ahead. Thanks. Sorry.
All right. We have €5 from Dikke BMW saying, "Good luck with the runs." Good luck with the runs for this great cause.
So it also happened actually in one of my runs. It was actually my first run, or first PB run at least, where I actually lost this game, but I had more points in the end because he died just about immediately after me. We ended on like 133 and 134. And if that happens, it actually still counts. Like, you still get the win. So as long as you have more points, you win. It's really all about the points, not how long you can keep going. Oh, it is kind of unfortunate that we're now both down to our last life. Oh, crap. Okay, that's unfortunate. That's a loss. That's our first loss in the game. Losses are annoying, because it means you really have to just redo the entire minigame. Now, so far, there hasn't been a single run where there's not a single loss. You almost always lose at least once somewhere. It's not a huge deal to lose a few. Okay, we're just going to reset that one. If it's early enough when you make the mistakes, you can just reset it. Yeah, this definitely counts among the more difficult mini games here. Especially the challenge version is tricky to get super consistent because the way that the bombs fall is completely random. So sometimes, like, there have been times where I needed to hit basically 3 at the same time. And at that point, it can be really, really hard to actually get all of them. So yeah, there you saw an instance of where you need to hit 2 at the same time. I've also had once that I needed to hit all 4 at the same time. That is near impossible. It's not completely impossible, like, I have succeeded at it, but it can be stupidly difficult at that point. Okay, it's really time for him to actually start failing a few now. Because he hasn't had a single fail yet. And there is my first one. Because I missed an input. Now, we don't exactly know how this fight works. It just, all that we can really tell right now is that it seems to just be random when he fails. Usually he'll fail one pretty early, but there's just not enough data out there to really be sure about it. This time around, he seems to be doing really well. He's almost at 100 and he has only 1 fail. Usually he's on 2 here. That is my second one. This is not going well at all. Okay, there is his second one. Come on. This is... okay, this is bad. I'll try it again in a moment. Let me just first do this one. This is another pretty difficult one, so... So the first part of this is actually really easy, but you can probably see what we need to do. We just need to balance on these little ledges, and they get smaller and smaller every time, and they get weirder and weirder in terms of their shapes every time. So the first one, you wouldn't even have to do anything, and you could just get through it no problem. But as we go on, it gets more and more difficult. Now the first few are actually set. After that, there is some randomness to it, but we don't really get to the point where it becomes random. So this is the first random one. It's also the last one that we have to do. There we go. Got that first try at least. In practice, I did not get this first try, so hopefully that'll make up a little bit for my mistakes. We get the flower bomb. Now there is one other mini game that we should be able to do right now, so we're going to do that next, which is up here. That'll give us the 10th diamond piece that I will be needing in a moment. Before that, though, let's place the water bomb here. Now since that we have the bomb, I can also just get this one. So at least we'll have enough diamond pieces to move on, so that we don't have to take the minecart again. But up here, there's another challenge against Cool Black. Again, this challenge is fairly simple. We just have to beat him to the top. Oh, this is annoying. See if I can surpass him. It's all about the landing there, so it's the first one whoever hits land. So if you go way over, it actually, like, your timer keeps ticking up until you actually land there. Yeah, as you can tell, there's a decent amount of leeway with most of these games, but some of them just tend to be more tricky than others. Now that's kind of another thing. This game has two modes, actually, and both can be run. The normal mode, which we're doing now, and the expert mode. Now, expert mode basically just requires you to get more points on every game. Every battle is more difficult. It's basically just more difficult on everything. All the bosses have more lives, that sort of stuff. Currently, there's actually nobody that has done a full run of it. I've attempted it, but I got stuck on one of the last bosses. I forgot his name. We'll be seeing it in a moment. It's the Bat, which is the Diamond Zone boss. One of the most annoying bosses in expert mode, easily. Again, Blue is not cooperating here. There we go. There's his first fail. So yeah, this again just kind of shows that. Like, he's had fails at the 17th bomb before, and now it's the 46th. And sometimes that's just it. You just got to get a little bit lucky. Yeah, that was a case of where I needed to hit almost 4 at the same time, and it ate one input. And that can make things quite difficult sometimes. Again, we're going over well over 100 here. This has really been a painful minigame today. Normally this one isn't that, like, it's difficult, but it's not that difficult. Kind of just getting trolled today. Okay, we both got a fail there. So it's now down to whoever gets the last fail. He did. Okay, perfect. Finally. Got that done. So now we're going to go get over to the club zone, and this is where our last microphone minigame is at. And also the one that I'm most scared of, because that's the one where the mic is the most sensitive. So yeah, at Sniper Wave, who's behind the audio at the moment. In a moment, we're going to get to that minigame. I'm going to ask you to mute my mic and also mute, or not mute, but lower Dextera's volume on my end, if that's at all possible, so that I'm sure that at least his voice doesn't go through the mic. Because this is one that can actually be very tricky sometimes. First though, Flower Bomb. Let's get that one done. Back up here. For the Diamond Zone treasure stamp. And now we go back to the other side. We'll fight Q Pink in a bit. We don't really need to do that now. Kind of just want to get that last microphone game out of the way. Because that one's kind of nerve-wracking. Like, if we can get past that, the rest shouldn't be too difficult for me. Assuming my touchscreen cooperates. So yeah, now we can take the cable car over here. And as we are at the cable car, they're going to be throwing bombs at us. As well as a few treasure chests. Now, I don't see how this is ever safe, but apparently they thought this was a good idea to put you in a cable car and throw bombs at you. As well as treasure chests, but even then. Somewhere this seems a bad idea. Don't try this at home. And we got ourselves the club piece. The club piece is the last item we have to get. After that, they don't throw bombs anymore. It's a pretty easy club piece to get. So now we jump off here. We set the war point so that we finally have that. Unlock the gate, and we're going to unlock the next minigame. So yeah, this is again, this is the one that I'm going to be, or that I'm kind of scared of, just because it can get screwed up. And there wouldn't be a whole lot that I could do. So yeah, we unlock it by pushing this thing open. Here we go. Go ahead, snipe.
Alright, while Crrool is blowing again, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the Dutch Cancer Society, which is a nationwide organization committed to fight cancer while aiming for more cure and a higher quality of life for those already battling the disease. 95% of your donations will go to the Dutch Cancer Society, the other 5% will help improve the BSG. Of course, we are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering. We organize monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners. We are streaming live from Alphen aan den Rijn in the Netherlands, which is in the esports game arena. We also want to thank EGA for supporting the event and for allowing us to stream on their channel.
Hey, we got that done. So we can move on. This is one of my favorite minigames, Boom Tunes. We're gonna make some music here. This is also one of the most difficult ones in expert mode, as the amount of points you need, especially for the challenge, is really high. This is still fine. Okay, I'm not gonna get the score anymore. I missed too many. I don't know. For some reason, the mini games have not been going well today. We may not be able to make estimate anymore. I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. That was much better. It's kind of a case of I feel like the touchscreen has been eating inputs, and I know that it's a classic speedrunner trick to just blame it on the controller or something, but I feel like I've been tapping a few times and it's just not getting anything out of it, which is kind of weird. Either way, we're gonna get a rainbow here because that was a rainbow flower. And we're going to grab this chest, which has our next helmet in it, the fish helmet. This fish helmet will allow me to talk to fish, which we actually need to talk to a fish later. Kind of funny how that goes. Now we go down here. We have another couple of challenges to do. This is a rowing challenge. It tends to be actually pretty difficult casually, but for the speedrun it's not too hard. We just need to keep rowing is the main thing. Okay, why am I stopping? Seriously. Wow. At least now we're moving. I don't know why I randomly stopped there. Is this what I mean with I feel like it's been eating inputs? See, that's how it's supposed to go. Okay. Anyway, we get ourselves another club piece. And now we just kind of try and move back. Black kind of gets in our way there. Unfortunate, but not a big deal. And we get the treasure here. It's our next treasure stamp, so we only need one more of that. And back up here. Now we can actually warp again. Warp to diamond next. Because I noticed we had a few challenges here that we still needed to do. So we're just gonna quickly get the challenges out of the way. First one is bowling. Bowling against cute pink this time. Idea is simple, we just have to get more points. So a couple of strikes and spares can really go a long way in helping us here. Generally, cute pink doesn't score that high, but she can. Again, there seems to be a decent chunk of RNG to that. And she gets the spare, and I didn't. But we get the strike the round after. Getting the strike the round after and cute pink getting so few points there kind of saved us. Now this time it's the full 5 rounds regardless, so we're guaranteed to need 5 rounds for this. Again, the strikes really are saving us on this one. She's getting pretty good points this time around. But we've basically won this as long as we throw a decent ball here, which we did, so... Yeah, it is... Okay, I was about to say, actually it was possible for her to get... I think if you throw a strike after a spare, you get 300 points, so she needed a strike to win that, and then she would have won by 10 points. She didn't though, so we're fine. On to the next minigame, which is with those conveyor belts again, but this time it's going to be a challenge, which means it's quite a bit more difficult than the first time around. Now after this, I'm actually going to try and trigger another battle to happen. Because I was actually already supposed to have fought pink, or gold, but gold wasn't there yet. We kind of need that to happen soon. So we always need more than 500 points on this one. He fails randomly after 500 points somewhere. Which I've seen to go as low as like 550, but I've also seen him go as high as like 750. So simple idea here is just don't die until he fails. Really not that much to this game. It's just a very focus-heavy game. Because messing up in this is really easy, and it loses a lot of time. That's what I mean. Host, if you have stuff to talk about, by all means, now is a good time.
Sure. I just want to remind you that we are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering. We organize monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners. We're streaming live from Alphen aan den Rijn in the Netherlands. We also want to thank ESA for supporting the event and for allowing us to stream on their channel. You can also consider using your free monthly Twitch Prime subscription right here on the ESA channel. You will get access to both the ESA and the BSG emotes, and you get to support both the events. Alright, we also have some interesting donation incentives coming up. We have all tag minigames and backyard glitch for the finesse and verb right, again any percent. We have show off the box for the Sonic the Hedgehog 06 Silver Story run. And we have Sing City Escape during the Sonic Adventure 2 run, which will be Shadow Frost singing. And then we have the Beta World show-off in Amsterdam and Blindfolded First Boss in Cuphead. So get those donations in, guys. Thank you for watching.
I almost goofed there. What? Come on, no. I tapped it, and then it didn't react, and I didn't notice until it was too late. This is kind of what sucks about some of these mini games. Like, if you miss one input, it can just immediately lose a lot of time. And the timing on some of those inputs is pretty precise. If you miss one, it's yeah, no, it's not fun. Yeah, those look fine. The blue one's up there. See, those are some of the relatively fast switches that I was mentioning there. This time I did notice in time that it ate another input, because it did eat another input there. Definitely the touchscreen, but you know. So I guess to explain what happened there, like I actually had a different DS to work with, but the capture card of that died literally a week ago. So I kind of had to find a last-minute replacement, which became this one. But you know, because of that, I only had the time to just quickly check if it worked, not how well it worked.
We got a €21 donation from Xandosh without a comment. Thank you.
Okay, done, finally. Right. Actually, let's do this. So I'm just going to quickly go out of the zone and back into the zone. I'm hoping that'll trigger something to happen. Well, it did trigger something, but not where I wanted it. So we're going to warp to the hard zone in that case. Like, in that case, it's pretty easy. We just move on. Because there's plenty more challenges that we can already do. And it's another one of those balancing games, same story as before, except this time we just have to balance it for a little bit longer. So you can kind of see how blue moves. This one, it seems relatively scripted how long it takes blue to fail. It's always around like the 65-ish. Kind of see him run back and forth with it, and he, like, every time he goes back and forth, he lets it fall just a little bit longer until eventually it fails. That's when we win. So yeah, like I said, around the 65-ish, was 61 this time. So now we talk to this guy, we interact with the computer, and we're in a battle gold again. This time it's about smashing those bombs. And here a lot of it is just try to be faster than gold. Now the big bombs do give more points, so I'm trying to aim to get at least those. It's kind of rude when he steals it at the very end from me. And that's a win. You just have to have more points by the end of it. We had almost 100 points more, so not a big deal. Gets us another diamond piece. Okay, so the fishing just opened up. Unfortunately, there's not too much that we can do with the fishing right now. As soon as we get there, the three of them will be taking that that spot, and we can't do anything with it anymore. Okay, this is one that we need to trigger, though. So I'm still missing some heart pieces. If I have more heart pieces, I can get the last bomb. We get the cutscene with the balloon there. The balloon flying out of our sights. Where is Pink at the moment? Okay. Let's get our 10th club piece. So we're going to warp to the club zone here. Sometimes those emails can be kind of nice to see which of the cutscenes have already triggered and which haven't yet. Now, route-wise in that, like for the longest time, we actually used to get a bunch of tokens during the route so that we could buy bombs. And we kind of realized, well, it's not really useful to do that because we can just get all of the pieces anyway. So there's no need to buy any bombs. We still buy the light bomb just because it's quite fast to get that and it saves us some time later on. But other than that, we don't really need to. Okay, last one. And that's a wrap. So this is just where we get to replay all those mini games. Make sure we get all the tokens we need. Because there is our next club piece. And with our 10th club piece, we can challenge these guys again. That'll be the 4th Bomber House game here. This time we have to kill 25 of these little pirates. Okay, that's the first 6 down. See, this is always the best part of these fights. Once there's 3 of them up there, it becomes pretty easy to kill them very quickly, just because of how many there are. So they always get close together and the likes. Because for me, it just needs to explode anywhere on my side and I lose a life. For them, I need to actually hit specifically them.
We got a question from chat, by the way. Are there any cool skips and glitches in this run?
Not that we have found at this point. The only thing we can really skip is just like buy the in-game mechanics of buying bombs, which we've done like kind of, but there's not actually any glitches that we can use to our knowledge. So it's fairly just play the game as it's intended. Okay, so that's done. We're now gonna just go get the go do the warp again. I'm gonna warp back to the diamond zone next. We've actually pretty much finished most of the diamond zone already. It's just a handful of things that I have left to do. And first things first, grab the lamp bomb because Bart is over here. And by getting to him, we get the last jumbo piece, and now we have 15 pieces. Pretty much finished up this zone. I kind of wonder what I've missed. I've missed something somewhere, and I can't really place what it is. Can't be there. Can't be there. I still do need a piece for that one. Just running by my options here. Otherwise, we're just gonna walk back to the Spade Zone. It is always like, there is always the thing in Spade Zone with the rubber suit that we can still do. So worst comes to worst, that is an option. But they first need to move for that. For some reason they haven't. I'm trying to think as to why. Oh well, at least we can go for this one real quick. So here we just need to rescue pirates that are now out on sea somewhere at the shipwreck. Red ones will give me 20 points, blue ones, or red ones 20, blue ones 10, and there's also the rarer yellow ones which give you 30 points. We would like to get mostly the yellow ones, but it's kind of random which ones we actually get. So we just rescue as many as we can, so that we just get our points as quick as we can. And that'll do. So this will give us the cape, I believe, which we need for another minigame later on. Now hopefully this will trigger the cutscene. Still not. Okay, this is kind of weird. Because the cutscene should have long since triggered. And there is the cut. Wow. Now I warp away and we do get that trigger. I don't know why we hit the trigger there. Like, that shouldn't have mattered. Shouldn't have done anything. We need to go here to get the rubber suit, which we need for another piece, or another piece of equipment later on. I think it's a diamond piece, or a heart piece, actually. Either way, this is just fishing. Try to actually grab the correct bombs.
Crrool.
Yeah.
What made you decide to run this game and not a more traditional Bomberman?
Good question, actually. This is one of the few Bombermans that I've actually played a lot as a kid. So when I got my DS capture card, I was like, okay, this is one of those games that I would like to return to at some point. Because Bomberman Land Touch 1 and Land Touch 2 were two that I played a lot, whereas regular Bombermans I hardly ever played. Let's fish up the yellow. Where's the yellow? Funny enough, they actually usually give you one that's on screen, but usually it's passing by so quickly that you won't be able to get it while it's still on screen. And half the time my touchscreen just decides to say you can't get it right now. So that actually took a bit longer than it usually does. So there's the rubber suit. And we get another email. See, now all of the regular cutscenes start triggering again and we can actually make progress. As blue should be in here. I figured. See, the thing is, there was a balloon in the tree here. And this balloon we can only get out with the help of a friend. Because we're not tall enough. Luckily, Blue he's a cool dude. He'll just help us out. So now we can just walk out of here, go over to the tree. And we get the balloon, and the balloon is another club piece. So now all of our regular cutscenes have started triggering pretty much. I believe the heart attraction is here for green. Yes. So now this guy, we need to talk to this fish. And with the fish helmet, we can talk to him. So we make him happy by giving him a spring ball. And that'll give us that heart piece. We grab the rubber suit, so now we can walk over the electricity here. That'll give us yet another one. That gives us the 10 we need for later on. And we quickly go defeat blue. Now this is literally just a memory game. We just need to get more memories on the first board than he does. So we know that it's green pirate, pink pirate. So we know where there's 2 pirates. But he's probably going to get that. Yep, he's going to get that. And he's probably going to get that as well. He's getting very lucky with his sets so far. So we only know where pink is, which we can now get. Yellow, white. Oh, come on. Really? He is getting stupidly lucky right now. Yeah, that was kind of lucky on my end. I don't remember where pink was. Or where gold was, rather. Okay. We got him. It's fine. This is fine. It's totally not, but we'll make it. So now we can go back up. I believe we have enough pieces to get to this part. There's one thing we still needed to do, for which we need 10 pieces. Because I need to actually interact with that thing, so that we can trigger a cutscene with green. And we need that in order to get the last of the bombs. Oh, this is going to be a disaster with this touchscreen. And the first round here isn't that bad. The second round is a challenge, so that can be kind of annoying. So here it goes that the smallest bombs give you the most points at 10 points each. The green ones give you 5 points, which is still decent. The really big ones only give 1 point, so they do virtually nothing for your score. Except in this case, because I only needed 1 point. Okay, and now we warp back to the club zone where the next few things should be waiting for us. And we get more meal. We get a lot of emails in this part. Because this is kind of where we try and wrap up most of the stuff that we need to do. So here at Club Zone, we're looking for 2 things in particular. I need to find Green, who hopefully didn't just challenge us, because that would be kind of annoying. He probably did. And we need to do these remaining challenges. Now for this one, the idea is really easy. We just need to get more points, as always. Which, as long as I keep up the chain, is not that difficult. If we fail the chain, like I just did, that can actually become more difficult for us. The first fail isn't the end of the world. The last fail is. Like, if we fail from here on out, it'd be bad. This we can still make up. This is really one of those places where it really matters when I said a tie means we lose. Okay. This is secretly one of the easiest to mess up mini games. The reason I keep saying micro games is this because there's another similar game to this regarding Final Fantasy, which is based around mini games and micro games. So I tend to default to micro games for some reason, and I don't really know why. Completely unrelated to anything in this run, really, but. See, now you can see that our score takes quite the jump compared to his. Yeah, this has been a really good chain this time. There we go. That'll do it. So that was a really good chain there. Much better than the first time around. And that'll get us our first rival stamp. You get the rival stamp for me for finishing every mini game against a rival. Okay, there is green. I was wondering where he went. So we actually need green right now to unlock the next part of Heart Zone and basically be able to wrap up the Heart Zone for us. So we really ought to be wrapping up these zones as soon as possible. So I would warp to Heart Zone, but it's actually faster for me to warp to the Spade Zone. As that'll, walking-wise, be about the same. But I can now go over here and finish up the first big boss of the game. It's time we did some of the bosses as well. This is Sharky. He's the first actual boss of the game. He's also the easiest boss in the game. He is the first one that we need to fight after all. Similar to the pirates, they can get stunned. The problem is they only get stunned they get stunned for a shorter amount of time than bosses, or than regular pirates do, making these fights a little bit more difficult to actually chain wins. Every boss also has a special ability. For Sharky, that is to go really quickly to the left or to the right. Other bosses will have other abilities that can be similarly annoying. Some can't even be hit at all. And can't get stunned. But we'll get to that when we get there. Okay, good chain there. Missed him by a hair there. That's a good chain. He's down to his last life now. There we go. Oh. Tech. Pay attention, please. Capture froze. Restarting it now, but may have to quickly get on that, because it will have moved a bit. So we're fixing the capture as we speak. So that gets us our first boss stamp. Andere kant. So they're putting it back in place here. We're working on it, but it's easier said than done. So that'll get this thing down. And with that thing down, we're gonna move on to the other side to get our prize, which is gonna be the last bombs, the drum bomb. Just to double check. Okay, hard attraction. Okay, so we're gonna fight black here. This is the mini game that I was a bit worried about with that touchscreen issue that we've been having. Because this one also tends to be rather on the close side. A nice combo there. So he actually got more points than I did there. That can kind of come back to hurt me. So I really need to get a few of these 10-pointers. Okay, we have a very small lead here. But it's a small lead, and I'm not comfortable with this smaller lead. So right here, it's really just important for me to get a few of those 10s before he does to secure the win. Is that the last one? Yeah, that is the last time we have to face black. So that is the second rival done. Now we go over here to first finish up the fight against pink, and then we can finish up, or then we can warp back to the club zone. Because now that we have the bomb, we actually have some better options there. So this one can actually be quite tricky. Because pink actually knows which way to slide, and I like kind of have to just chance it. I just hope to try and stay ahead of pink here. This is not going well at all. Okay, she exploded there, so we have some kind of a chance to hopefully catch up. Okay, back to tie. That's a tie. And like I said, a draw means we lose, and we just have to try it again. She got a couple good ones in there. This is probably the challenge that usually I also struggle with the most. Just because pink actually can be very fast if you don't know which order to slide to go from one to the other. And then sometimes she doesn't actually give that much trouble at all. Like this time around, she just decides to make it easy on me, apparently. Don't really know what's up with that. Why was the last time so hard and now suddenly so easy? Hank, what are you doing? That one was for her, but she's already lost this. I can just wait for the end. So now we're gonna warp to the club zone. And again, we're gonna get a ton more emails here. It's kind of a common theme with this game that you just keep getting emails left and right. But now that we have the drum bomb, we can go drumming with this guy. This is actually, Bongo is the boss of the club zone. So he gives us a little bit of a mini game where we have to find which one the real one is. It has something to do with the music. We just random guess it and hope that it's correct. And usually you get it the first or second try. Now that we can go back up, we can do the one over here. Now that we have the cape, do you actually need the cape for this one? Talk to this guy. And we do a bit of a classic game here, where we have to shoot a few bombs. Just try to not get hit between shots. That can be easier said than done sometimes as well. So far, so good. Okay, just 2 left. We got that one from a nice distance there. And there we go. That was really clean. That gives us the captain's hat. The hat will allow us to get to the castle zone later, but we're not going to go there just yet. But with that, we're done with Club Zone. We're gonna do the next boss. We're gonna now have the showdown against Bongo. Now Bongo can't get stunned. That's a big thing with Bongo. Oh well, he can be, but it's a lot more difficult. He'll usually just jump. So we really have to try and chain bombs in order to defeat him, which is easier said than done most of the time. I'm gonna reset this fight. We were down 2 lives already, so... Now Bongo is supposed to be the 4th boss, so he's actually kind of difficult. Like, this is the before last boss you would normally face. And he's really good at just spamming so many bombs your way that it becomes hard to keep track of what to do, and which ones to throw first. That's kind of where his difficulty comes in. He's also really good at dodging them, making things even more difficult. Okay, that's 2 lives down. hitting him, but we're not hitting him fast enough. Let's hope I can keep up with this. He is down to his last life right now, so he should be getting close. There we go. That's Bongo. 2 bosses down, 3 more to go. So we get a jumbo piece as our victory, and we get the second boss stamp. So time to finish off the next rival part. And then we warp back to the hard zone so we can start finishing stuff there. So we play the comparison game again. And we just want to try to get as many of comparisons right as possible. The timer will pretty much keep ticking regardless. So again, we just try to go early, try and have a few more at the end than he does. That took me slightly too long to realize it was that one. So here we have one that was rotating. Now multiple are going to be rotating soon, and one of them might be rotating in a different direction. So now we need to look for everything. Size, color, direction. It all matters. Okay, this is bad because I'm not seeing him this quickly. Okay, even if he had gotten it, it would have been fine. And that is the third rival stamp. Now we have another challenge against gold here. These kind of take priority because there is another one of those mini games where Gold and his gang are going to just first block our path for a while until we can actually get it, and I do need to finish that mini game as well. That's going to be a foul. Again, it doesn't really matter what kind of score I get here, just as long as by the end of the third round I have a higher score than the rival. So you just need to try and get a good shot in with one of the 3 rounds. Okay, not really sure what that was. That's a really good one, though. That kind of makes up for it. That's a score he is unable to beat. I've never seen him beat 924. Yeah, that doesn't beat 924. So there is actually a cool strat that speeds this mini game up a bit. But you need to actually get a good score on the first round for that. Basically, what we usually try to do is get a great score on the first round and then foul the second and third round, because that skips an animation there. So looks like that other cutscene has now triggered. So we go in here, we talk to Blue, who's blocking our path. We still need to do that one as well, but we'll go back there for it later. And now we go back to the Heart Zone. As we get to the Heart Zone, I believe we now have the point where... Wait, she's still not... Why is she still not missing? She's actually supposed to go missing. Which probably just happened. Okay, she mentions that she's lonely. Why is this cutscene not triggering? I really don't get that. Usually these things seem to trigger a lot sooner. Warp to Diamond. Hopefully by this point the other one will be back. Okay, she's gone from the fountain. That's actually the one we needed. We need her to say that she's gone from the fountain so that we can get the next heart piece. We run into Cute Pink. Now remember that lonely island that we saw a little bit ago? Well, that's where she went. So we're gonna go to that lonely island. Now we need. The thing is, Serena is lonely, so we need to cheer her up with something. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our flower bomb, which we got earlier, and just use that on her. We need to chat with her a few times to get it, but then we get the flower bomb. That'll cheer her up. She'll sing her song. And we get another jumbo piece. Now I believe I can now go to Heart Zone or to Diamond Zone, I mean. Yep. Playtime is over. So we can warp to the Diamond Zone. So we do this in two parts. First, we're going to get the last item here in the Diamond Zone. And then we go to the Club Zone to defeat the rival there 2 more times. Because there are 2 more rival fights that we need to do. So this is bungee jumping, but then with bombs, as there's a bunch of bombs here and there. Our goal is simple: collect as many coins as we can. We need 50 coins in total. And that's it. The first way down was kind of rough, but then after that went pretty easy. This wind machine is going to allow us to get a few items in the Club Zone as well, so it kind of works out nicely. And with some luck, we'll now get an email from Bart, which we did. And with the email from Bart, we can now do the third of our bosses. This is supposedly was supposed to be the second, or the second boss, but we're gonna do him as the third boss. Now this fight is fairly straightforward as well. The only big downside is there's these two little bats here, which kind of block my bombs going to him. They don't get blocked the other way around. They only get blocked from me to him. So I just need to try and shoot between the two bats. And then at the same time, also seem to try and hit him, which can be easier said than done sometimes. Okay, there's our first one, but we've already lost 2 lives, so I may lose this battle. This tends to be one of the harder battles as well. That loses me a life, but we've also already gotten rid of 2 of his, so that's not good. This is why these bats are really annoying most of the time. They just hit your bombs back and there's so little you can do about it. This run has been a disaster. I think I'll just go till the estimate and then probably call it there. Wow, these bats are being really dumb today. This tends to, this fight either goes really poorly 5 times in a row, or it goes super well the first time. There's like kind of no in-between for me on this one. This is also really one of those places where you get to see the downside of having to actually hit him, rather than he just having to have a bomb explode on my side. You can probably see why in expert mode this fight would be as difficult as it is, because in expert mode he has even more lives, and even in normal mode he tends to already be quite the struggle. Wow, I had him, and then I didn't. Yeah, I think what we're just going to do is we're going to try and finish the other parts first and see if we can still have the time to come back to Bart. I don't know. The combination of these fights going as poorly as they do and the fact that the touchscreen is cooperating as little as it does is really not working in my favor here. We'll see if I can at least show off the last few fights against the rival before we call it a day. It's really annoying though. I was really hoping to show off the end of this part as well, but it would just take too long. Okay, so first up, gold. It's another canoe race. And again, these canoe races tend to really be easy, except for some reason today nothing seems to be easy. See, I'm pedaling, but I'm just not moving forward as a result. See, why am I not moving forward? You can see it happening there. Like, you can see that I'm doing the movement for it, but for some reason it just seems to eat it completely. This is the other last rival fight, basically. These are the last two rival fights. See, and that's again, like, I touch the note, but then the note doesn't actually register, and, you know. Getting so many eaten inputs, it's really frustrating me, honestly. This is what I mean. Half of my inputs just get eaten. I'll really have to do some digging around to see if I can get that fixed. Or at least what's causing the fact that my touchscreen doesn't work half the time. See, this is what I mean. I tap the notes, but they don't do anything. I think after this, we're just going to call it here. At least give one shot a chance to still be in here. Dutch. I'm going to call the run soon. My touchscreen is eating half my inputs. It's impossible for me to play like this. It's been a problem throughout the run, but it's really getting worse. I need the left side of the screen here, and it seems to be a lot on the left side. So So I'll try one more time on this minigame, at least finish the pink fights. But I think we're going to do that. I'm sorry, chat, for not being able to show you the entire thing. But I don't want to be responsible for having to force other runs to not go through. See, it's especially on the left side of the screen, which towards this part is going to be rather important for me. Tap that note 3 times, come on. You can probably hear the frustration at this point, and I'm really sorry about that. Okay, yeah, we're calling it here. At this point, it's just not doable. I'm sorry, guys. Just consider it a did not finish, sadly. Like I said, I don't want to be responsible for other runs being cut on this. So, chat, really sorry about that. I really wanted to show you guys the last part of the game as well. But I hope to have given you guys at least a little bit of an idea what this game is about. It is a really fun speedrun most of the time. And it could definitely use a few more runners. So if you would consider a Bomberman game but don't want to go full-on Bomberman, this is a really fun little game to do. It really is a shame that I didn't get to show off the entire thing, but so be it. Last part is really cool, by the way. Definitely worth it to try it out. But I think for now we're just going to move on. So I'll give it back to the host.
Right. Thank you, Crrool, for that run. Upcoming next is Portal 2. Portal 2 by Firefox 3000 and the Vug. And we did have a donation incentive for it, and it got met. So we will be seeing Portal placement never fail. Now, time for some quick ads.